Well, you know what they say, always keep them waiting, right? You know, the life of the party never shows up at the exact time that you're supposed to be there. You know, it's fashionably late, and we're only 15 seconds late. So give me a break. Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. Welcome to the Sunday Live Prog stream. I don't even know what edition this is. We've been doing this for over 2 years, and it's almost like the Church of Prague, Kevin, where a lot of people, they come home from church, or maybe they don't go to church anymore, but they still need to feel like they belong to something bigger than themselves. And we welcome all, right? We don't care what your denomination is. You can be Christian, you can be Hindu, you can be Muslim, you can be Jewish. Welcome to the Prog Corner, where today we've got our special guests. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm stalling a little bit because there's supposed to be 5 guys in the band, Kevin. But today on the program, we have none other than Emerald City Council, Brent Bristow. How are you today? A constant friend of the program. Good to see you guys. What is going on?
Oh, well, we just got into town yesterday. We're still waiting on Jake and Noah, who apparently got caught in a line to try to get coffee, and they're running late, is what they just texted me. So hopefully they'll show up momentarily.
It's an hour show, Brent, so we're fine. We're fine. Introduce who you have with us.
So on my far left, your far right, would be Seth Hankerson, our lead guitarist. And then a couple of empty seats where Noah and Jake will be sitting. Jeremy Nichols, our bass player. And then to my right is Garth Yelty, who is joining us doing utility work as giving us extra guitar and keyboards, and from Nashville. So we're glad to have him here with us.
You need to call that accoutrement. When I managed bands, we always had a utility guy. Super important. I think was almost the most important person on stage, to be honest. But we always called him the accoutrement guy.
I'll have to remember that when we introduce him. So everybody got into town yesterday afternoon. We spent about 2 hours setting up way too much equipment. And then I see Jake, who is looking in the wrong direction. Door's locked. Yeah, but this one's open. Oh, very good.
So this is what we call in the business the Hollywood entrance, right? Are we rolling a red carpet out right now? He's got to unlock the door. The special guests are piling in.
They better have coffees in their hands too. Oh, they do.
Do we have refreshments?
So we have Jake now. Say hello, Jake.
Hello.
Jake, welcome.
Good to see you, man.
Welcome to the Prog Corner, your first Men Without Hats. Yes. No, my hair's all weird today. I'm not loving my hair right now, so I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair during the hour here. But Jake, oh my goodness gracious. Kevin, he's the guy that gave me the moniker.
That's right.
The Jedi of Prague, and who am I to turn down a great nickname?
Yes, my master.
So, what can the folks that show up tomorrow night expect? Because this right here, where is it? Oh, yeah. This right here is an absolute gem, man. I'm hoping that we give the epic some life, because there's nothing like hearing a sidelong epic brought to life in a live setting. What Platforms of Illusion? Is that in the set list?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I'm assuming every song's in your set list.
Yeah.
We decided with Diversion 1, because that one was written. Hey, there's no.
Hey, sorry.
There we go. Okay.
We have everybody. We did decide with Diversion 1, since that was really one that I wrote for Jeffrey Combs and Steve Rankin to be a part of, that was really kind of a special song for them. And since they're unable to join us, we're going to omit that one, but everything else on the album we are going to perform. And we ran through everything yesterday. walking in for the first time. And, there were a few hiccups here and there, but for the first time of us being in person playing together, it actually locked in way better than we really kind of expected, I think. So, yeah.
Now, you expect a couple hiccups, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the big name bands, right, when they get together for the first time, it doesn't always flow exactly perfect. But we were talking about the album, and there's some people in the peanut gallery here, boys and girls, that may not have heard this record yet. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it's Motion Carries by Emerald City Council. We've got the entire band plus one with us today as they embark on their very first ever live gig. That's pretty exciting. It's Tuesday night at Arkansas State University, BB. It's a free show, rain or shine, right, Brent? We've got a plan in case it rains.
Right. Yeah. If it rains, we're going to move into the theater here, which is where when Advent Horizon was here, that's where they performed, was in the theater. So it's a good venue. They actually just remodeled it about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So yeah,
So yay, rain! Come on, rain!
Yeah. We might want some rain. Hey, before we get too deeply involved and I forget everything, because that's kind of what I do. I am the most disorganized person in the world. It makes no sense because I'm an absolute neat freak, right? My car, not a speck of dust. I don't have any clutter anywhere. I've thrown away my passport like 3 times, right? I'm an anti-hoarder, but I'm the most disorganized, clean person in the world. And I wanted to do some shout outs, man. People been sending me some really cool product that I may or may not get a chance to review. Here's my friend Thomas sending me his new CD. It's Undoubting Thomas is the band, and the album is called In the Process of. I listened to this the other day in the car. It's really, really good. And then from Costa Rica, this is a weird one, Kevin. The band's called Times Forgotten. And kind of a prog metal thing, maybe
we
like
played them. We played them
like
Monday.
Songs of Awakening, and
Yeah,
then
we played them on Monday. Very good.
Something that really caught my attention: Johann Steensland, Duality, and the artwork is pretty cool. But what really got my attention is that there's 2 members of Kaipa make a special appearance on here. You've got Alina Gibson doing all the female vocals, and you've got Per Nielsen playing guitar from Scar Symmetry, also from Kaipa. So yeah, I'm going to be definitely checking this out. I have not listened to it yet, but there was a Post-it note on it, Kevin. Little Post-it note on it said, "Please review me."
Nice.
That holds some sway with me, right? Because that's handwritten. It actually took 2 seconds to do that. I hate it when they send like just the the Xerox copy of something that they just printed off a million copies of, sent them out anonymously. Almost as bad as that email blast that they send out. Good morning. Yeah. They can't even personalize.
I'll give them all a tip because obviously I get the stacks of the stuff too. But I will give all the artists a tip. If you're going to send, what I would even do is put that sticky note on there and tell me what song to listen to first. Because that'll take me right to that song. And then if I love that, boom, I'm going to listen to the whole thing. But if that great song that you want me to hear is 5 songs in, I may never get to it. So
there you go. Right. These are just tips. We're giving bands tips in real time with the band who obviously listened to some of the things we were talking about. Because when Motion Carries came out, I don't even know where I heard about it from. All right.
Brent is the maestro. I'm telling you.
I don't even know where I heard about this album from, but it's like I like name drop them in an episode just because I've been hearing about them, and then Brent reaches out and he's like, "Hey, thanks for mentioning me on the show," and I'm like, "All right." Next thing I know, he's sending me a copy of the record. I'm falling in love with it. That's how you do it. That's understanding modern media, right? You can't just put a record out and expect it to be listened to in a vacuum. So, Brent, tell me a little bit about what you were thinking about when you were releasing this thing? Because there's a lot of great records that come out that not one single person besides friends and family are going to hear.
Right. Well, we were really fortunate. First of all, I have to give a shout out to Jake because Jake already has fans in the following. So there were folks who checked us out simply because they listened to his work with Protocol and with Carrie. So that was a big help. But probably, the thing that we were very fortunate with was that, first of all, Casey McPherson was the guy who helped me navigate all of this when I first got started with the project. And he was very favorable with everything and was telling me what was going on. And then I had the opportunity to play it for Neil Morris. And of course, and funny story, I played this for Neil, and literally a week later, he calls Jake and says, "Hey, will you sing on the Joseph album?" So, nice. I think that's not a coincidence there. I think he was like, "Oh yeah, I need to give Jake a call." So, but Neil, if you remember, he kind of launched us there because he offered to put us on his Waterfall streaming service and sent out a big email blast and social media blast saying how much he loved the project and everything. And that was sort of the first thing that really kind of launched us, was that, Neil has, as you know, a lot of fans worldwide. And so when he was saying, "Hey, you guys need to check it out," I think people actually did. And we feel very fortunate because Neil doesn't usually do that. It's very, very rare that you actually hear Neil ever take time to really talk much about other new bands or anything. So we felt like he liked our music, or he wouldn't have done that, which was very amazing. So when we were releasing it, we had, we felt like we already had, Casey and Neil behind us, and then the people who were following Jake were already on board. So we were feeling really good going into it that it was very well received. But a lot of albums, as a lot of albums people talk about for about 2, maybe 3 months if you're lucky. And so we were already about 2.5, 3 months in when you mentioned this for the first time. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but I noticed when I started looking at the Spotify numbers, which I really didn't start looking at until the album had been out 5 or 6 months. And I looked at, like, on March 14th, we suddenly had a spike that our numbers like quadrupled. And I was like, what happened there? Mm-hmm. First time you mentioned this. And so
there you go. It's the power of the Prog Corner. And for those of you knuckleheads that are watching this and you're like, who's Emerald City Council? I don't understand why they get their own primetime spot on the Sunday show. Let me tell you something. This is a cool band. Beyond all that name dropping that we heard, the Casey McPhersons and the Neil Morrises, I'm going to keep it going, man. We haven't mentioned the fact that Jake is, of course, the nephew of the one and only Carrie Livgren. And, it goes beyond that, right? It's such a cool tie into the name, right? Kansas with Carrie's nephew. But you got Noah, his dad was in a band called Toto, right? So you've got the whole Emerald City Council, Toto, get it? Okay, now for those of you that are a little slow, now you get why this band, like, somehow just I heard about them. I'm hearing all these cool connections and all these, like, surnames that you actually know, and that just, to me, that's kind of cool. It got me really excited, really interested in the band. But being an old school prog rocker, seeing that there was a sidelong epic, that was it. That was the clincher for me, and it does not disappoint. Brent, you've been seeing some of the lyrics from that song being posted online in reference to some, like, current events going on, haven't you?
Yeah, just the other night, I was on Facebook and I saw a post about, there were several people who were posting a thing about, that we should focus on music and not politics, and which, of course, I completely agree with. And then, of course, most of the lyrics to Platforms of Illusion were written to be very, very satirical, and when I wrote, in particular, the line, "My favorite politician is the only one I trust," and all of that, which is, and of course, that whole section is really kind of a commentary on people who continually comment on people's posts and act like they're the expert of everything. They know better than everyone. You know, their opinion is fact, right? And so people have asked me, well, are you, you know, of course, at this time, you know, we were still looking at a Trump versus Biden election. And people were asking me, well, are you talking about people that are supporting Biden or talking about people that are supporting Trump? And my answer was yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, whatever, you know, it's just amazing to me how people will get on and just act like, you know, whoever they're supporting is like somehow, you know, some sort of like religious figure or something like that. And yeah, so anyway, someone actually on this post about, you know, music versus politics actually quoted that line on there and said, as Emerald City Council said, and then they posted it. I have no idea who this person was. So I was like, okay, the lyrics are out there, man. People are quoting it. That's awesome. You know?
That's pretty cool. I mean, oh, here we go. Ian wants to know, are you a keyboard-led band? Well, you know, funny you asked about that. Apparently, we didn't do a good enough job introducing you, Brent, because you are not only a professor of music at Arkansas State University at BB, but you're an alto sax player extraordinaire. So maybe that'll give you a hint of maybe where some of the focus of this band is on. This cat's saxophone playing. You just popped up on another band's single recently, haven't you, Brent?
Yeah. I just collaborated with Al Winter and Abe Fisher on a track for This Winter Machine that just came out. So just did that, and also I've done a couple of tracks with Ageless now. I did one with them last year, and there's another one that's coming out sometime this year that I did a track for. And then along the way, I did Paul Milatovich is supposed to be getting me a track for his Nosferatu soundtrack for me to play on. Yeah, you know, we asked him to join us for the show, and he decided to go on tour with Carl Palmer instead of us. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but I do play a lot of soprano, but I am playing a lot of keyboard on this as well. But really, it's I would and have described this band as a guitar saxophone driven band with Seth on the end being our lead guitarist.
Yeah, he is the man. Absolutely. And, you know, you've got a decent vocalist in the band, which doesn't hurt. Jake, what is it like being in a band where you finally get to step up and show what you're made of? Because like Brent was saying, you kind of came with a baked in audience, people that were kind of paying attention to what you were doing, but now you're fronting a band. How is that feeling for you?
Well, it's, brand new as far as how long I've been doing it. It's been 24 hours or so, but so far it's it was just surreal to hear this album that I've listened to 500 times in the last month to actually be made by live people, real live human beings. It was incredible to hear it come to life, and it wasn't even perfect, but it was still like, I can't believe this is happening. I've been hearing this thing for years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's awesome. It's brand new. I don't even know what it is yet, but so far it's amazing.
Yep, and it is an awesome record. In fact, Kevin, I had it my #1 debut album of 2024.
Yeah. I had it real close to my top. I had one French album that edged them out by one spot, but they were in my top 10 overall prog albums for that year. And you can do as great a promotion as you.
Who'd you have ranked over them?
It's a French band. Oh, geez. See, they don't have a Brent because I'm trying to think of the name of the band now.
Oddleaf?
No, not Oddleaf. Oh my gosh.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Senior moment. It's a female-fronted band, but very good. Completely different than an Emerald sound, but you can have what Brent does. He does a great job of keeping it, like you said, most of these bands, they come out, they're lucky to get a couple of weeks, to be honest, Brent, of attention. You've gotten attention for a year, which is awesome, but you don't keep that just by going on shows and emailing people. You got to have a great album. You got to have great music. And like you said, a debut of the year for you, second debut of the year, top 10 of all albums. And that was a big year. So the music's got to be great, or I don't care how much promotion you do, it's going nowhere. So you got to have both. You have a great album, and then you got to work it properly. So.
And the artwork is awesome too. That doesn't hurt. You got to have cool artwork. And we got some cool stuff planned, Kevin. I think we should take a minute, because you know how time gets away from me, and I forget stuff, and the next thing you know, I'm doing snake dances and I'm saving kings and stuff like that. And then, I hit end stream and I'm like, oh, we totally forgot to mention X, Y, or Z. Not going to happen. Not going to happen this time around. Not on my watch, boys and girls. We've got some, not one, but two exciting announcements to make today. This is really cool. The first one we've got is starting October 5th. We are debuting a brand new show. This whole brainchild of Kevin's will be coming to life October 5th. It's called Fantasy Prog. And Kevin has put together this whole thing, the graphics look great. He's been working, all the magic behind the scenes with code and stuff like that. But this is going to be amazing, where a group of us get together. We put together our fantasy football teams, only it's going to be albums. This time, the inaugural run at Fantasy Prog is going to be the top 20 prog concept albums. So there'll be 5 of us competing. We'll each get to pick 4 albums, but there's going to be all kinds of trickery along the way. It's not going to be that easy. We're going to have steals, and we're going to have all kinds of twists and games that we got to play in order to get to the final 4, and then we'll have a way of tracking who has the best picks. This time around, we might go with Prog Archives rankings. The next time we might do Rate Your Music. The next time we might do, total Spotify plays. That way you can't do your homework, right? Otherwise, I'd be sitting there just analyzing every data point on Prog Archives, right? And I would be winning every time. But there is an element of chance to this too. So that would 100% work. Tell me a little bit about this game.
On Prog Radio, we did the Can You Dig It show, which is our little game show on Prog Radio. And we've done a few episodes. I had so much fun doing that. We have so much fun doing it. And I keep saying to the panelists, hey, if you ever want a week off, I'd like to get Scott to nobody wants to not do it, because we're having a blast doing it. So I was doing that, but I'm like, it's radio only. It would be great if we had something that was fun like that as well for the Prog Corner, that we could do on YouTube, that we could do visual. And so that's where this whole idea for Fantasy Prog came from. We'll leave it at that. We'll let people tune in.
Trust me, I would not greenlit this unless it looked amazing, unless the graphics really popped, unless the concept was strong. And it's going to be a whole bunch of fun, because in the end, it's just an excuse to talk about a bunch of really cool records, right? I mean,
exactly.
And then, once again, burying the lead, because I'm really excited about this. October 12th, we are debuting yet another. I'm going to make this big. Look at this. Oh, boys and girls, yes, indeed. We are here to announce the Prog Corner Unplugged, beginning October 12th. This is something we'll do periodically, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month. It depends on who we contact and talk to about doing this. But we've got a good one, man. Our inaugural Prog Corner Unplugged. It'll be none other than Mark Trueck of Unitopia. He's going to be here live performing, right? Just like playing piano or singing or playing guitar. I don't know what he's going to do.
He's got a new album that comes out October 10th. His 70th birthday is October 10th. So he's going to be our inaugural Unplugged on October 12th. And I think he has one of the best voices in prog. I remember the very first time I ever heard his voice, and I think I've told the story before. I was driving in my car because I love that Unitopia stuff, and I was listening to his voice. I'm trying to remember even what song he was singing, The Great Reward, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I turned to my wife and I said, if I had a voice like that, I would live in a recording studio and I would do nothing till the day I died and sing. And just give that gift to the world, because he's got such a great voice. I'm such a fan. So it'll be fun to hear him do something unplugged right here live on the show. On his 70th
excited.
birthday.
I'm excited. I love Mark. And you're dead right, man. That guy's voice, just absolutely unbelievable. And he just turned 70. Is that what I just heard?
Well,
how is that possible? It's like John Anderson. He's like a freak of nature. There's no way this cat should be singing that good this late into his career. That Unitopia live DVD that they just put out last year in support of Seven Chambers, incredible, man. That dude, yeah, he's not feeling great. He's like sitting down the whole time and whatnot. But that's all right. Prog, a lot of the proggers that we could be like contacting, they're getting up there in age a little bit, right? So it's a perfect format for them.
He'll also be talking about a couple of new things with Unitopia, so I'll let him talk about that on the 10th.
I've heard we have some exciting things happening in Unitopia land, absolutely. So that's exciting, and trust me, Kevin and I are talking to other bands, other artists as we speak. So I think this idea might have some legs. What do you think, Brent?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. We certainly, if we would have had more than just a few hours practice last night, we would have tried to get something ready to play for you guys today. But we were pretty wiped out when we called it quits about 11 last night.
We were pretty wiped out when we started.
Yeah, that's true. All these guys traveled in yesterday, and so spent a lot of time on the road, and then hit the rehearsal and after setting everything up. So yeah, but we certainly, if we're together again, we'd love to do it. And we really hope we're together again. We really hope this more. We hope this is going to be the first of many gigs, not just an isolated thing.
Well, that's when magic happens, when you throw, and everybody's traveling. And again, I used to manage artists, and people that just listen to music or goes to shows, they may not understand this. Let's say a band does a 50-city tour. Not every night is the same by any stretch. Oh, yeah. Some nights are okay, some nights are good, and every once in a while magic happens, and everybody knows it, and it just all comes together. So when you go see a live show, don't think that every show is the same as that group's touring that. But I find the magic usually happens when everybody's tired, everybody came together, everybody pulled it off, boom, magic is set up for it to happen. I think that's what's going to happen with you guys for your show.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. You guys are going to nail it Tuesday night on campus, Arkansas State University at BB, somewhere in central Arkansas, right? Where is BB, Arkansas, and how far away is it from like other cities that people might know? Because it's a free concert. If you're anywhere in the southern half of the United States, it's something you need to consider, man. Call off sick from work Tuesday. Tell your boss you got the COVID on Wednesday. It's all good, man. Go see Emerald City Council.
Right. Yeah, we're about 25 minutes northeast of Little Rock. So just straight up, if you were sort of heading up toward St. Louis, you pretty much would be coming this way, right along highway. I guess they've just changed it to 57 or whatever it is now. It used to be Highway 67. But yeah, just come on up this way, and we are pretty much dead right in the middle of Nashville and Tulsa. Like it's about equal distance to both of those. So yeah, and these guys just did these two guys just did the trip from Nashville yesterday.
Yeah,
yeah. And Noah has a new drum set.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh yeah,
a brand new drum. Tell us about your new kit, Noah.
Oh, I did. I'm shifting gear around all the time, and was recently, selling a kit to trade in for something new. I'm always looking around. I happened to catch somebody local, who was letting go of a nice set of Tama Star Classics that have this like kind of jade emerald, if you will, green wrap on them, and they were in the configuration that I was looking for, and it was just in time for the show. I was like, oh, I think that's fun. So I have a nice thematically appropriate color scheme on the drum set.
If there was only one drum set in the Emerald City, this would be it.
Yeah, it's a little birch walnut, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 22. Yeah, lovely kid. It's gonna be very cool.
Yeah, next thing you know, Seth and Jeremy are going to be, coming up with the emerald colored guitars and basses, and you're going to be seeing some Emerald City nameplate on everything, man. You're going to have microphone stands. Everything's got to be emerald on stage. I'm seeing it already. Emerald backdrop. Maybe everybody wearing emerald too.
Yeah. Seth used to have a green guitar that he unfortunately decided to trade off for something else.
Yeah. It's sad days. Yeah. It was very dark green though. So it was almost black.
How did I not notice this?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't know we had the merch going. That's right. Wonderful.
Kevin's wearing his Emerald City Council shirt. Are you guys going to have merch at the show?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a shirt. Now, of course, we do, for those that can't make it to the show, we do have merch available through Redbubble. Jake is wearing one of those shirts now, one of the many shirts we have available. But we do have a slightly different design that's not available on Redbubble that we're going to have available at the show. And then, of course, we're going to have vinyl CDs and we're going to vinyl and CDs, I should say. And then we'll be hanging out. We'll be hanging out too. And we'll also be hanging out after the show, do pictures, signing albums, and all of that stuff. And we're going to be, of course, we'll take cash, but we'll also be doing Venmo, Cash App, PayPal if people.
Indentured servitude.
Yeah, indentured servitude, whatever it takes. Yeah. So we'll trade livestock, chickens. But we will have other options because people don't carry cash with them these days, so we will have other options.
Are you going to video it, even if it's just whatever quality, just so you got it?
I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be some phone video, and we do actually have a person here on campus that's going to be doing some video. I'm not sure to what extent, but what we are doing is Calvin Barnes, who Calvin actually played the acoustic guitars on Platforms of Illusion, and he played on the very end part of Realize 3. Calvin is actually a very talented sound engineer. He actually, if you're familiar with the Christian group, what are they called? Williams, Craig and Dean? I always get it wrong. Phillips, Craig and Dean. Anyway, he runs sound for them when they tour. And anyway, so what he's going to do is he's actually going to be there and he's going to do multi-track recording in the Pro Tools. So we'll be able to hopefully release some of the tracks.
Yeah, you got to have something recorded, if not video, at least decent audio. And that just seems like a no-brainer here because it's just the way the industry has turned as such is that it used to be you'd put like 4 or 5 albums out and then you'd do a live album. Yeah. Now you put an album out and then you do the live version of that album, and you can. And if nothing else,
20 years from now when they're doing the behind the music documentary, you're going to want that footage.
You're going to want it.
Back when we were all so young.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, like little babies.
Yeah, that's in the band. He brings the average of the age of the band down.
Makes us all feel great.
Yeah, right. How old are you now, Seth?
I'm 27.
27, yeah.
Wow. So
a bit younger than the rest of us.
You're going to have to carry the torch when all these guys are gone. So,
which actuarially should be within the next 5 to 10 years.
You're touring around with a band of a bunch of young kids and you.
Yes.
So what are you guys going to be doing between now and Tuesday? What amount of rehearsal time have you carved out? Or are you just going to be doing the rock star thing and trashing hotel room, getting drunk, etc.
Yeah, we did that last night, didn't we?
Well,
they're not allowed back at Best Western.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna practice today at. Feel free to jump in, guys.
I mean, did you see how I was late because I was driving through to get coffee? That's the level of rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the plan is that we're gonna practice. We're gonna start practicing at 2 today, And then we're going to do something. So we're going to take a break around 4:30, somewhere around there. And we're going to do something we have not got to do yet and do a photo shoot with the full band because we've only had individual shots. So we're going to actually do some photos this afternoon, which hopefully will appear on, at least one of those will appear on the cover of the next album. And then we'll grab some dinner and then come back and fine tune a few things and call it a night.
Practice till the first person nods off.
Yeah. And then we're going to kind of take it easy a little bit tomorrow because of course we're rehearsing here in the music building where we are right now, and they wouldn't cancel all of the classes for us. Go figure. But anyway, so we're going to have to. Now we do have some university concerts coming up with the band and choir, and so we do have to have regular classes. So we're going to kind of take it easy on Monday and kind of rest your chops, rest your voices and stuff, and then do a dress rehearsal tomorrow night. Just kind of run through everything, and then hopefully be ready. We're also doing at 12:30 on Tuesday, if anybody's in town already. We're going to do just a little sort of informal kind of Q&A for the students and any community people that want to talk about, that want to come in and ask some questions. In particular, for all of these guys, except for me, they're really kind of living the artist, life of constantly booking things, constantly doing stuff. Seth's going to be leaving from here and going to Dallas to do a jazz gig this weekend. Jeremy's touring with a bunch of people. Noah just performs all the time. Of course, Jake's involved in 1.5 million things. So we're going to talk a little bit about just like life in the arts and self-promotion and that sort of thing. So if anybody wants to come hang out for that, that'd be 12:30 on Tuesday. And then we do the show that night. Free food starts at 5. So you can so not only is the concert free, we're going to, what more could you ask for, right?
I like
give
that.
You stuff. That's nice.
The free food part sounds good, but are we going to be encouraging these youngsters when they come in asking questions about what's it like life as a professional musician? It's almost like kind of like don't do it, whatever, don't let your babies grow up to be prog stars. Let them do other stuff, but definitely not. Don't get yourself in a prog band. I mean, that's like the worst thing you could ever do from a financial perspective. But seriously, as a professor of music, what are you finding like the young people when inevitably they're going to find out that you're involved in musical things? So have any of your students actually taken the time to listen to your music, and what do they think of it?
Well, not only that, but one of them is playing on it because Seth was my student. Seth graduated here in 2020. Is that right?
2020, 2019.
Yeah, okay. Somewhere
Was
around.
he a good teacher, Seth?
Was he a good teacher?
Was he a good teacher?
Everyone.
He was all right.
That's what I love is the loyalty of my students. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's particularly, Noah and I, we made a video with Jamie that mixed the album for us, and I kind of told the story that after I finished writing Platforms of Illusion, I went in and told the students, I just finished writing this 20-minute song, and their response was, why? Why would you write a 20-minute song? And so I sort of explained to them, and they just sort of looked, and they were like,
because we told them 30 was too long.
Right. And so they sort of looked at me like, oh, I don't know if my attention span could take that or what. And I was like, well, it goes through a lot of different things. It's not like Freebird where the song was over with 10 minutes ago. For forever. And anyway, one day they finally, after we got it all finished and mixed and mastered, they came in one day and said, we want to hear it. We want to hear it. And so I said, you guys hear it? And this was like probably 4 or 5 months before the album was released. And I said, okay, cool. So we sat down and I played it for them, and they were like, that was awesome. That did not feel like 20 minutes. That was so cool. And then after the album came out, they came in quoting some of the words, and they were singing along.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was really amazing. But of course, this being, only September, we had some new students who came in, and they were like, well, I've been telling you, about the concert and everything, and they were like, well, well, is your stuff on Spotify? Well, yeah, of course it is. And so they went to go check it out, and they were like, well, it was cool. We were expecting there to be like a lot of auto tune and stuff. I was like, what? Why would we do that? Because everybody, does that these days. And I'm like,
We didn't even do timing edits, you can tell.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, well, as you can hear, we don't really do that. We don't, we're not doing the pop star.
So we don't do that, but I've got a question from the Peanut Gallery. What kind of prog would you define your sound as?
Excellent.
Are you going to take it across the board here? What do you think?
Well, I'm curious to hear everybody else's thoughts on this. So
Yeah, so am I.
they need to step up and
Look, or orchestral. I love it.
yeah.
It's symphonic.
A lot of my contribution was to make it as poppy as I could, and my favorite kind of my favorite kind of prog is what I call prop, which is like prog pop, and so there's not a whole lot of bands like
country rap.
Country rap. Well, that was my second choice.
What should be crap by the same metric. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. So there's a lot of it's a really cool mix of very long orchestral, movie soundtrack kind of moments, and then some very direct pop rock moments. I mean, it's like it's got something for everybody, I feel like.
Yeah.
Should we translate that for our audience, Scott?
Yeah, go for it.
Crossover and symphonic prog is definitely what it is. The crossover prog is the poppy stuff, and the symphonic prog is all that orchestration kind of stuff. So,
And one thing that I do want to just throw out there too is and Kevin, you've been a big supporter of this, is that whenever people hear that I'm a saxophonist and that I'm playing saxophone in this, they get this sort of idea of what we sound like. But my goal for this, because I've always felt as a saxophone, particularly as I spent a lot of my career playing classical music, that the saxophone is way more versatile than what people give it credit for. And so if you're expecting John Coltrane licks or something like that, you're not going to get that here. My influences are more like Robbie Steinhardt of Kansas is a big influence, and you're going to hear me doing things like in a lot of tunes when you would normally hear like a monophonic synth, playing leads, I'm doing that kind of stuff on sax. So anytime in this album that I recorded anything and played it back and thought it remotely sounded like a jazz lick, I went back and changed it. I wanted it to be something completely different that nobody was doing, and I just always kind of felt like there was so much opportunity to show how versatile our instrument really was that people aren't taking advantage of that. And my hope is one day that some other saxophonists are going to hear this and pick that up and take it to the next level. I would love to see a whole new, trend of saxophone-led prog bands doing the kind of thing that I'm doing, and not just doing the jazz fusion thing, but actually playing more in the prog world, more classically oriented, that sort of thing.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, because when I first heard the record, kind of the first thing I thought of was the last two Kansas albums. But instead of having a violin, if it was replaced by the saxophone, and I'm sorry, I love Ronnie Platt, but I think Jake's a better singer, and I would think overall Motion Carries is better than either of those two Kansas albums. I just think the songwriting's better, and I think it's a little bit, and it kind of sound a little like Kansas, but because you don't have Joe Dennison or Dale or whomever post Robbie Steinhardt, it's its own thing. It's different. I haven't heard this before, and that's what makes Emerald City Council really cool and really unique, is that you can point to some obvious touchstones, but they're not shying away from it. It's right in their name, boys and girls, yet at the same time they do their own thing. They bring their own sound, and if you like the pop rock kind of stuff, little bit more accessible, we've got that. But then we've got the sidelong epic, which is just amazing. Just bringing an awesome record. Again, let me show it to you guys, because we want to sell some units, because that's what we like to do here. It's called Emerald City Council Motion Carries. Where can the good boys and girls buy this record?
Well, first of all, I would point out there are 2 epics on the album because Realize Part 1, 2,
Parts 1 and 2, yeah, together.
Yeah. 1, 2, and 3 at the end. We just split it up and bookends the album. 1 and 2 at the beginning, and 3 is at the end. We are going to do all 3 parts of it, but altogether it's 16 minutes. So so it qualifies as an epic in my
serialized.
Yeah, serialized. I just had this idea of bookending it.
Yeah, I mean, the album itself is an hour long, right around an hour, I believe. So you got the 2 epics, and you still got more.
Yeah, we're keeping those. Yeah,
It's a surprise. Okay.
Yeah. We were just.
Good thing we didn't just say that.
We are throwing in some. Wait, sorry for the content, but we are throwing in a few surprises as well. So in addition,
surprises Tuesday night.
Yeah, so in addition to our songs, we are going to be throwing in.
Well, tell them we're playing naked.
Yes, the album. The place that benefits us the most, of course, is to order directly from our website. We have it available on CD, vinyl, and as digital download. If you wait until Wednesday, we may have some signed ones available. And so, or even if you order now, we may just be nice and send you one. But if you also can get it through our record label, Melodic Revolution, through the Bandcamp page. But it's also available through locally here through a couple of record stores. Arkansas Record and CD Exchange, who is actually sponsoring the concert, is an important one. And then, of course, there's plenty of places in Europe you can get it. You can get it through progrock.com Essentials. You can get it from Cosmos Music in France. I think Just for Kicks has the CD anyway. I don't think they have the vinyl. And then, of course, here in America, Target also has picked it up and has it, which was pretty huge for us to, as being one of the major retailers to pick it up and sell it through their online store. Tower Records in Japan has it. So there's lots of places.
No excuses. If you want it, it's out there. Go and get it. It's amazing. Hey, Jeff Shilka's got a question. And if Jeff Shilka's got a question, we certainly can't ignore it. Great patron of the channel. So yeah, Jeff is asking what y'all's favorite bands are, and are there any Yes fans on the panel? Because Jeff is a huge Yes fan.
Yeah. So your favorite bands, and are you a Yes fan? So
Yes.
Yeah.
I like everything. I like a lot of R&B stuff. I'm not really in the prog universe. I like what I've heard, but this will be my first prog concert that I've ever even attended. So this is going to be an interesting journey for me.
Yeah.
We sort of kidnapped Seth and said, "Hey, you're going to play prog now." He didn't really get much of a choice.
Let's see, I came from a very weird combination of kind of classic prog rock and then a lot of R&B stuff, and then kind of LA studio yacht rock type thing. So was big into Genesis, Rush, Yes, that stuff, and then big into Sam and Dave and James Brown and Motown Stax, that sort of, and then really into Steely Dan. And
why don't you just talk for me? Just talk for me, because everything you just said is me too.
And the total thing is as soon as I started playing drums, my dad introduced Jeff Porcaro as a religious figure, and so anything he touched was a big part of it.
Anyway. Did you get to meet him?
Only as a baby. So I was born in California. My family moved to Nashville when I was 1, so they have pictures of me as a baby with Jeff, but he passed away before I ever had a chance to meet him again. I've met the other Toto guys since. But.
Yeah.
Well, I like Noah a lot, but I swear this is not just me kissing his butt. Okay, my favorite band of all time is Toto. I think I always said that before. My parents played Toto, a bunch of Toto songs in their local cover band in Central Kansas when I was little, and I used to sit on the side of the stage on the amps and watch my mom and dad play, Goodbye Girl and stuff your dad played on. And I fell in love with it from day one. I remember sitting in front of my parents' stereo with the Hydra album, just staring at the picture of the guy standing with the sword and hearing the beginning of boom, the Hydra, and just being so mesmerized. Mm-hmm. Something about the combination of the imagery and the music that just captured me from the beginning. My top 4 is Toto, King's X, Steely Dan, Fountains of Wayne. So I'm a big power pop fan. I love Fountains of Wayne a lot. I actually wore their shirt last night to practice.
Wow.
And I do love Yes. I'm probably right at that age where I like the 80s stuff as much as the 70s stuff, because that's what was out when I was growing up. So I do love them.
Okay. Jeremy.
Me, okay. Mostly what he said. No, I like a bit of everything. Yes. I probably number 1 would be Rush for me.
Nice.
Geddy Lee, he's all right. He was a huge influence on me, actually. And I'd say classic rock probably is my biggest, genre, if you will. Boston and, gosh, I don't know, I love Heart, Worse, in that vein. But I've played basically everything under the sun, I guess you could say, but that's probably my favorite genre. And I do like Yes. I am not familiar with a large portion of their catalog, but clearly they're amazing gods. So.
Hey, look who's out there! It's Scott G. Davis, Mythologic, in the house. He's got himself a new single he just put out. Kevin, have you heard the new single?
Oh yeah, we debuted it on our What's New Proggy Cat show on Monday. Very good.
Ryder is a master.
I'm liking it. So welcome, Scott. We'll have him back on the show soon. I don't know if he's a candidate for the Prog Corner Unplugged. He may be, he may not be. Kiefer. Oh yeah, Kiefer's always lingering about stirring it up, but good to see you. Yeah. Scott McRae. I like doing the shout outs to the Peanut Gallery because the live show is driven by the Peanut Gallery, right? It's driven by those people that are actually watching it live. But fear not. Over 80% of the views that we get on these episodes actually come from after the fact, video on demand. So you can watch this. It's available to you anytime. That's, these videos never die, Kevin. They're evergreen. This is evergreen content here, man, yep, that we're delivering to the people. But we're not quite done with the countdown. We still have a couple more people who haven't told us their favorite bands, and if they're willing to pledge their allegiance to the greatness of Yes or not, because Jeff would have it no other way. Jeff demands to know who is bending the knee to the mighty Yes, Brent.
Well, I will tell you this, that the 2 albums that I inherited from my brother that got me into prog were Kansas Point of No Return and Yes Songs. And I listened to those over and over and over and over and over again. And I think that I own almost every studio album that Yes has done on vinyl, definitely, on CD. But as far as my favorite band of all time, echoing what Noah and Jeremy said, Rush, which is always really interesting to me when people listen to the album. Rush is really, as a songwriter, my biggest influence. And if to me, I hear it all over the place, and nobody really ever picks up on that, which is really interesting. When I hear that, particularly with Jeremy and Noah, you listen to those guys, and it's obvious that that's a big influence on them as well. Maybe the toms weren't high enough. Something.
Yeah, I cranked them up for the show.
Yeah, cranked them up for the show. Yeah. So, and then of course the Beatles was my second favorite band of all times, but. And Neil Morris is a huge influence. David Bowie is a huge influence. Anything with Peter Gabriel on it. solo or with Genesis is going to be, somewhere on the top of my list for sure. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on, from, British Invasion stuff, classic rock stuff, even some newer things, and of course, Porcupine Tree. I think there's a bit of influence in that and what we're doing. And so, yeah, I think it's kind of all over the place. And it's funny that Noah said that, not to reveal too much, but I had an idea for the next album. It's going to be a little yacht rocky for just a brief moment. So yeah, so get ready for that.
That is the great.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's hear from Garth.
Yeah, let's hear from the sixth member, the most important member of the band.
Accoutrement.
Not sure.
Young guy.
Okay, well, favorite bands. A kind of a unique way to say this is your listeners are probably familiar with ELP, and that's, of course, one of my favorite. But there was a guy who wrote a book, and it was like a musical analysis of ELP music. And he came up with this theory of hero music. It's like the music that advocates heroism and stuff like that. And that's why I like prog rock, is that it's heroic. It's like anything that's heroic, I gravitate to. So all the great Genesis hero stuff. And
I've never heard that phrase before. Kevin, have you?
I haven't, but it rings true to me.
I love it.
Book. I forgot who wrote it, but it's really thick. It's called The Endless Enigma. And it's a great book for that. But I like the Rush, Kansas, ELP, Genesis, of course, yes. And for that reason, because I love heroic things. One track off Emerson, Lake and Powell, which is Mars. I'm not a big classical music thing, but that, again, it's heroic. You can't hear Mars without just going, this hero just blasting through things, and it's inspirational. That's why I like prog rock, is that it's heroic.
Nice.
I love that. I've never heard that before. It is something about prog rock that just feels larger than life, and I think that's something that clicked for me when I was a little kid. Right, just living this normal life in normal town USA with normal parents, going to a normal school. And all of a sudden, now I got the headphones on. I'm listening to Yes. I'm looking at that Roger Dean artwork. All of a sudden, things ain't normal anymore, man. Things have taken a decided left-hand turn. And there's a certain point in your life where just your neurons in your brain are just firing a little bit differently than they were the day before. I don't know what changed. Oh, maybe puberty had something to do with it. I don't know, but something just fires up. And the music that's around at that particular point in time, Jake was talking about the fact that he's a little younger than me. So he came right in at that time where he can listen to 70s and 80s, yes, and still appreciate both equally. Most people our age, Kevin, we can't do that.
No.
We're 70s, yes or nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, music impacts us when we hear it.
Yeah.
I'll go
A big part of it.
John Elefante, Kansas, too. I mean, a lot of people, in the Kansas community, I grew up kind of friends with all the wheat heads, and they would debate about things. And, the Elefante stuff would get shit on all the time. And I'm like, dude, he was a great songwriter. He wasn't really a Kansas songwriter, but he was great in his own. And we've seen what he's done since then. It's like, it's true. He was amazing. But yeah, I mean, so I like being able to bridge both of those decades.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's the old Genesis, before and after, right? It's like a before and after Duke.
Gabriel
And
Collins,
there's some people that just can't stand anything, that Genesis did that actually perhaps charted. But I was listening just yesterday. We listen to the radio in the office at work, right? And every now and then, Owner of a Lonely Heart pops up. I'm like, all right. Well, that's all popped up.
Oh, yeah.
And, we've all heard that song a gazillion times. I know I have. I mean, it hit number 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think it did. It was a top 10 hit for
Huge
sure.
for 'em.
And I'm actually listening to it perhaps for the first time ever, because let's be honest, when those records came out, I was angry, Kevin. I was not a happy camper. I was so angry at Genesis. Over the years, my position has softened. But I was listening to That's All the other day thinking, this is good songwriting, man. What if this would have been, Godly and Cream had come up with this song? I wouldn't have been feeling so salty about it.
I think you
It's just a good
accept
song.
the other sounds if your musical tastes go a little broader. If all you love is prog, then you're going to like just the earlier Genesis. But if you also like pop and you also like country and you also, if you had a wide range of music, I love every single Genesis era. I even like the last one because I'm a big fan of Wilson's voice, but I just don't think of it as Genesis. I take it for what it is. I'm like, take that album and say this was his solo album. You go, what a great album. Tony Banks, Rutherford's on this album with him. But if you think of it as a Genesis album, we get a little biased.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Absolutely. Tony Banks of Eden. That's pretty cool. I guess this guy here, he's telling us what? He's a Genesis fan and he's a Flower Kings fan. I don't know if any of our panel are big into the Flower Kings, but you've wandered onto the right place, man. We love ourselves some Flower Kings around here. Absolutely, we do. One of the greatest bands of all time. We've had Roy Stolt on the program. We've had Michael Stolt on the program. We've had Thomas Bodine on the show before. We are all about the Flower Kings. We love them. But I don't want to, dilute the fact that our special guest here today, Emerald City Council. Thank you guys for joining us. Tell the people anything else that they need to know as they're packing up their vehicles, right? As soon as we go off the air here, they're going to be getting their cooler out, right? They're going to be packing it up, maybe some ice, beer, maybe some non-alcoholic beverages, maybe some snacks, maybe make a sandwich or two. And they're driving to Arkansas right now. Anything they need to know as they get closer and closer to Central Arkansas to see you guys perform Tuesday night?
Well, first thing we would be remiss if we didn't mention a few people. First of all, the chancellor here at ASUBB, Dr. Jennifer Mithen, she really had to jump through a lot of hoops to make this happen. And you don't usually get that kind of support from the top for this sort of thing. So big thank you. And then also Andrea Cole, who's the Associate Vice Chancellor of Advancement, is the one who really had to do all the paperwork and make sure that everything happens and oversee all of the advertising that went out. So big thank you to both of them. And then, of course, Bill Edginson of the Arkansas Record CD Exchange. He's been a huge supporter of us from the beginning. Even before the album came out, he was, like we didn't even have production, finished yet at that point of any of the CDs or vinyl. And he was already, saying, I want you to bring me this many vinyl and this many CDs. And helped us, he passed it on to some radio guys and everything. And he's contributing financially a good bit to this happening, and he's going to be there as part of this. And so if you're in Central Arkansas, you definitely need to swing by that store. It's huge selection of vinyl that literally the biggest selection of vinyl I've ever seen in one store somewhere. So you definitely need to check that out. But without the help of those three people that I just mentioned, this would not be happening. And then also, I just want to say real quick that, everybody, of course, always points to my songwriting for this album, but I've said numerous times that if it wasn't for these guys taking my crazy ideas and putting their heart and soul into it, it never would have come out the way that it did. So, they really sort of brought the ideas to life, because I think with any other group of people, these songs would have probably fallen flat. We wouldn't be talking about them now for sure. But as I said, we're going to have merch, free food starting at 5. As of right now, it's outside, so bring some like folding chairs, lawn chairs to get comfortable, and we'll make an announcement if it ends up having to move into the theater. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Oh wait, we do have one really big announcement though. This is important. After sitting here, like looking at this master shot of us on the monitor for the last while, we are officially changing our name to Seth and the Foreheads. Wow.
Well, of course, he's like, what am I doing here, man? I don't know if I belong here. He's almost like he's going to be clicking his heels 3 times like Dorothy, right? Come on, man. Get me out of here. I must be in some weird fever dream. Get me back home where it's black and white and those ruby slippers aren't coming in handy. I still got the damn scarecrow and the Tin Man next to me. It's Emerald City Council, boys and girls. Their first ever live performance Tuesday at Arkansas State University at BB on campus. It's a free show. Going to be amazing. Be sure to pick up your copy of their debut album, Motion Carries, wherever fine music is sold. You can get it just about anywhere. Just Google Emerald City Council, and it'll take you to some place, right? But you could go to their website. You could go to their Bandcamp. There's a million places to get it. Even Target.com, boys and girls. Unbelievable. Continued success, Brent, Seth, Jeremy, Jake. Who did I forget? Who didn't I say?
It's just
terrible. Read the scroll at the bottom. Anyway, what is next week's topic? The boys and girls want to know. Undecided. We don't know what September 28th is going to bring about. Young Kiefer asking, yeah, we don't know yet. To be decided. But I can tell you, October 5th will be the inaugural Fantasy Prog. It's going to be amazing. Cool. Look at that logo. Very, very cool. More details to follow, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Really looking forward to it. And then October 12th, the debut of the Prog Corner Unplugged with our very special guest, Mark Trueck. Oh, man. I love me some Unitopia. I love him. I love his voice. He's incredible. So a fantastic artist to kick this whole thing off. And Kevin, I think this thing could have some legs. I really think the Prog Corner Unplugged could be the best idea you've ever come up with.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be awesome. So thank you for that. Anyway, we'll talk later, boys and girls. Snakes are on the ready. You see this? They're coiled up. They're ready to go. I love you guys. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet. Free Ukraine. Free your mind. Free beer. Free Willie. God save the king. Don't forget to subscribe to that Prog Corner. Do it right now in case you haven't, because I lost a whole bunch of subscribers last week. But that's a whole nother issue, Kevin. I love you guys. I'll see you. Oh, God save the king. Let's dance with them snakes. Oh, no, King Cookies dancing with them snakes. He doesn't like them rattlesnakes. Brent, I don't know if they got rattlesnakes over there in Kansas. Oh, or is it Arkansas? Nobody understands that. Oh, the Brits understand. They understand. Oh, geez. No! Peace.